Hi guys, welcome back to another part of the zombie apocalypse series. Now this is technically not another part, let's be honest with ourselves. This is kind of a weird video because I don't even know how I'm going to film this, but basically you guys wanted to hear my behind the scenes of this series and also some what ifs, like some ideas that I scrapped, and also as well as that I also asked you guys for some questions on my community tab, so I'm going to answer a load of questions about the series and give you guys some ideas that I scrapped because of either comments or how I felt after playing the series for a while. Now I have no idea how this video is going to go. I don't even know how to lay it out. I've never done a video like this before. I don't even know like how to do this. Okay, so this might be like really stupid and really all over the place, but hopefully it's not too bad. So this is so weird because I have not played with these guys in like nearly a month now, I think. So this is like so strange coming back already to them. Like I thought this was the end, you know, but I did want to do this as a little extra video for you guys so you get a little bit extra zombie apocalypse content even though the series has finished, because I love these guys so much and I want to play with them a little bit more and give them one final send off, you know, with a little bit of a different vibe and just get to talk about them for like an hour because, like, let's be honest, I can do that any day, every day, literally. I could talk about my Sims for so long. So yeah, I am here with these guys. I did not think this was going to be the case, but we are here and it is so strange to be back already and bittersweet because I haven't seen them in like 3 weeks. That feels like a lifetime ago now. So yeah. Anyways, I've just zoomed you in a little bit there. Hopefully this is not too uncomfortable and we do not feel like we're making intense eye contact. I do apologize. I also hate eye contact. So anyway, I'm going to start, I think, with the how I planned this series. Okay, so I have a few notes. I'll kind of explain to you guys how this series was planned because I had so many people, like the main question on every single episode was, how do you do the behind the scenes? Like, can you show us behind the scenes and like how you film it and like what happens and how you decide stuff and how you set up the characters and stuff. And guys, I'm sorry to disappoint, but like I have no idea how to do this and this is my first time ever doing a series like this, so it was not good. There was a lot of like fiddling with my Sims. That sounds really wrong, doesn't it? Let's not phrase it as fiddling. Controlling my Sims, and honestly it's a lot of like boring stuff. Like, I hate to say it. Also my hair, guys, growing out a fringe, don't do it. Never cut a fringe, seriously. Okay, so basically I don't know if I should just press play and just like let them do their thing whilst we're doing this. I guess I will. We'll just let them live their life. Let's just let them carry on with their little birthday party for Halo whilst I discuss this. So basically the way I planned it is in the very beginning when I wanted to do this series back in May. I was actually going to start the series a lot later than May, but I was like, nah, I really want to do this, so I decided to do it nonetheless because I was thinking, oh god, I'm going on holiday, I don't want to, like, you know. But I planned the series by just writing down the most basic description you've ever heard, and I will tell you guys what the description was for what I had planned from the very first second I wanted to do a zombie series. And that plan was I wanted 3 Sims, one of which is a couple, Adeline and Hayden. Obviously I didn't have their names or anything at that point. I hadn't got the Sims made, and all I knew is that I wanted Adeline and Erin's characters to end up together. Now I know that sounds ridiculous now given everything that's happened, because that did not happen, and that is the first what if of this, okay? Because I did not end up making them date. That was my original intention. I had this in my mind before the first episode, okay? Before I'd even made the Sims, I wanted to make 2 female Sims that ended up together, like with the apocalypse. They realized their feelings for one another or whatever, but that didn't happen, and I'll get to that later on why that didn't happen. But yeah, that was the original plan. That's all I had written down. I hadn't got the whole story written down. I think some people think that I had like the whole story written. I did not. I was writing it every single week. So basically like the day before I filmed, I wrote out like a paragraph, which I'll show you guys in a minute as well. And then I just like did it because I know a lot of you guys like wondering like how I did it, so that if you wanted to do it yourself, like you could do a zombie series or any series generally. Also, I love that Blue is just like up there in the corner. I love that for you, babes. I know a lot of people wanted to know behind the scenes basically so that they could do it themselves, or like, you know, interested to know my writer's process. I'm not a writer, okay? I wrote like a couple of things like, oh my god, hello, Blue, hello. I actually used to want to be a writer. That was one of my ideal careers when I was younger, but I ended up not doing that because I'm not meant for just sitting there and writing. Like, I'm bad at reading as is. Like, I can't read books. I really struggle. Like, words, I have to read sentences over like 3 times before they actually process in my brain. So I don't read because it really confuses me, and like I'm really bad at reading basically. So oh my god, Blue, you are really distracting me right now. So I'm not a writer or anything like that. I've wrote like a few things in the past, but like very short stories, and like no one's ever really seen them. So this is like a brand new experience for me, having to write out something that's 25 episodes long. So don't worry if you guys want to do this for yourself and you don't know how to write stuff, don't even worry. Also, another thing I wanted to say is that I would not do this if I wasn't filming for YouTube. Like, I would not make a story this detailed if I I was not filming for YouTube. I know a lot of people can do that, but I can't personally. I feel like I wouldn't have the inspiration to carry on doing it and to write it if it wasn't for YouTube, if that makes any sense. And like, I don't know if that's just a me thing, but like, I just wouldn't do this kind of story myself. Like normally when I play Sims by myself, I am just sat there and I just have like a legacy on like short lifespan, and I'm just like clicking, go to work, come home, go to work. Like I don't do storylines normally, so this is a very different experience. But I think the only reason I am doing it is because it's YouTube. I've tried to do this kind of stuff in the past on my own, and it's never gone well because I've never wrote it out or anything, and it just ends up being disastrous. And yeah, so another thing is like how I brainstormed it. So the main thing that I did brainstorming was I actually just loaded into this lot, right? Or like whatever lot they were living in at the time. And I just kind of planned it out. I don't know if this makes any sense. It's probably not gonna. But I kind of just like looked, and I looked at a sim and I was like, okay, so they'll go here and then they'll go over to here and have a conversation here, and then they'll come out here and go over to here. And for some reason, that's kind of how I brainstormed it. And I know that sounds really ridiculous because it doesn't sound like it makes much sense. Also, I'm low-key scared that like somehow Kayla's gonna get taken away. Okay, no, it's okay. She's asleep. You know, I'm just gonna cheat up her hunger. I'm sorry, but I'm not risking that. The others could die if they want. Oh, hello, Bo. Oh, bless you. Sorry. Oh my God, distracted. But oh my God, that was kind of mean saying the others can die. That's brutal, but I mean, truthful. No. Okay, anyways, point is, that was basically the way I brainstormed. The other way I brainstormed is I actually asked my mom, even though she doesn't write or anything like that, but basically I said to her I wanted like these two people to like have a conversation or like something to happen. Like I kind of had an idea of like a next episode. That could be based on like your guys' comments, like if any of you guys have said something specific and I'm like, oh, I want to incorporate that, or if it's just like I already had it like kind of in my mind. And so we just kind of brainstormed, and then I'd just kind of write it down in bullet points, and then afterwards I'd kind of like flesh it out into a full paragraph just because I find it easier to do that. Also, Blue is currently invisible. Well, that's concerning. That's not what you want to see. Just a horse shadow. Oh my God, that's actually quite terrible. Okay, well, anywho, so I'm going to put on the screen now a little example of one of the episode's descriptions because I wrote it out in the most basic way. Okay, it'll be like Erin says hello to Adeline. Erin goes over to Nico. Nico smiles. They kiss. Like, it's literally written like that because I find it easier to write it out in a very small amount of like words, and then I can kind of flesh it out when I'm actually playing, because a lot of time when I'm actually playing the game, I'll change some stuff. Like I'll change the way they speak or something because it's kind of easier once you get into the groove of it. So I found it more easier doing it like that, if that makes any sense. Also, my nose is so itchy. Like, babes, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? It looks like I'm, oh my God, girl. What are you playing at? Also, it's just Tio left with his little stash. I never got him to shave it, did I? Oh my God, where have the rest of them got? Oh, to the toilet, really, guys? Okay, new scenery for this video then. This is truly the best video I've ever made. Anywho, so that is pretty much like everything in terms of behind the scenes. In terms of actually setting up the episodes, all I basically did is I just like, if I needed a zombie, I'd just go into the world, add a zombie to my household, and then like teleport them to a place, and then just make them like walk forwards, and then try to bite them or whatever. Like it was a lot of like simple things like that. Like there wasn't much setup in terms of the actual gameplay, unless it was an attack, and that did take kind of a while, but it was just a lot of like using a zombie. But as long as they're in your family, it's okay. Also, another thing that people have mentioned, I had a lot of people ask about, this is totally kind of off topic, but a lot of people said that when they have tried to play the zombie apocalypse mod, other people in the world don't get turned. So basically, when you go onto the sim, you can go to not extreme violence. Oh my God, no. You go onto options on zombie apocalypse, and I think if you go to where is it? I think it's somewhere here. There's one, and it says like start a zombie apocalypse. Where is it? Oh no, it wasn't that. The way that actually I did it, which is probably, I don't know if this is the right way to do it or anything like that, but the way I did it is I just went into the world, right, on the very first day in San Myshuno, and I found a person. I can't find a person now, apparently. There we go. I'd find a person who wasn't a zombie at the time, and I just went on to zombie apocalypse, and then I just turned them into a zombie, and then I turned a few other people into zombies, and then they kind of all just started biting other people, and then since then they've kind of all just turned into zombies. I don't know why, like I don't know how it happened, but over time they kind of just get turned. So that's the way I did it. There's probably a much easier way. Like I'm sure there's probably like a mailbox thing. Is there something on the mailbox? I don't know. I'm sure there's a way if you look at the mod, but yeah, that's the way that I did it. Really stupid way of doing it probably, but that was my way. So yeah. Okay, so that was all the behind the scenes. So now let's move on to what ifs. Okay, now I'm not gonna like play out the what ifs or anything like that, just because like no. Okay, I don't care that much. Like a lot of these are kind of stupid ones, but like I will tell you them anyways. So this is just the ideas that I could remember that I ended up changing, but there's probably others. There's like a load of other things that I did decide to change, but this is just the main ones, which I feel like a lot of it is actually stuff that you guys would have wanted. So I do apologize if this is stuff you wanted that never happened, but yeah. Don't hate me, guys. Don't hate me. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in like numbers. So this is number 1. This is the first secret, I guess. I remember Claire Siobhan doing something like this a while ago, so I'm gonna kind of do it in that way. So the first secret, the first what if, what I changed was that Adeline and Erin were actually meant to be the only two that survived in the beginning. They were meant to be the only two left, and they were meant to live in a cottage with chickens and cows, and they were they were meant to live by themselves as a couple with a baby. That was the plan from basically day one, is I wanted them to be the only two left. So all of the characters that were added in were originally meant to die. Miles, Tio, Nico, like all the ones left, plus all the ones that are already dead. But obviously that happened anyways. But all of them were meant to die from the very beginning. And it was just meant to be these two left because I really wanted to make it a really like horror series and a really shocking one where, because everyone dies, because as you guys know, I love horror stuff and I love zombie stuff. And my favorite kind of films or like TV shows is when the characters all die. I love it when even the main character dies. I'm not gonna lie, at one point that was definitely mentioned. I was tempted to kill off Adeline at one point and make Erin raise the baby, but I decided against that. But because I like love zombie stuff in general, my original plan was to just kill everyone off and just have those two left in a little cottage being cuties, and that was meant to be where the series ended. And that was meant to be at 15 episodes. That was where I was going to finish the series in the beginning, was 15 episodes. So that's kind of crazy. We had a whole 10 other episodes, and also obviously not everyone died. We still have another 3 of them left. So I'm glad that I decided to change this, because basically the reason I actually changed this was after seeing your guys' reaction to Hazel's death in particular, I realized that it was a bigger deal than I had originally thought. So I thought the killing off Hazel was going to be just like her. No one was going to care about her. And I say that with love. Okay, I know that sounds really mean, but I really didn't think that anyone was particularly going to care that Hazel had died, because she wasn't a main character really. And I just kind of was like, okay, I'll kill off Hazel because she doesn't really have much of a story anymore. And then when you guys reacted the way that you did, I was like, holy crap. Okay, I'm not going to kill off anyone else really, except for Kristen, which yeah, we'll get to that later. But I'm not going to kill off anyone else because that reaction was already sad enough and you guys were distraught about Hazel's death. And I was like, okay, crap, I can't do this. I think the thing is I'm used to that in horrors and stuff, but obviously you guys don't all necessarily watch horror movies like I do, so it's probably more shocking than that. But I kind of wish in a way that I would have stuck to it a little bit, because one of the deaths that I had planned, which would have been, I think telling you guys this is actually gonna break some of your hearts, so I do apologize to all the Tio lovers, but Tio was meant to die in a really, really sad way, and this was planned up until like 3 episodes ago. Like, this was gonna happen up until it was meant to be just after Kristen died, and Tio was meant to die as well. I decided to change it because you guys had a sad reaction to Kristen's death as well, and I was like, oh crap, okay, I can't do this. But originally, the man from town that Erin met when she went there was actually meant to come in the middle of the night and try to steal Bo the horse, or well, Blue the horse. And when that happened, Tio decided to fight back when he saw that this was happening, because obviously he was living out in the stables. And when that happened, he started fighting back, but the man attacked Tio, resulting in Tio dying and Bo the horse being taken by that man. And his final words were meant to be in Nico's arms as he's dying on the floor, saying that he knew that Bo the horse was just a horse, but he loved him nonetheless. And then he just flatlined. And that was the original plan. And looking back on it, I kind of wish I'd have done it, because not in like a bad way. I love Tio, I do, but I kind of wish I'd have done it because I think that's a great storyline personally, and it made a lot of sense. I wanted this like full circle moment with Bo the horse, but again, after, I didn't want to keep making people die like every episode, so I just decided against that. So you guys better be happy if you're Tio lovers, but I do kind of wish that I might have done that, but I didn't, so it's okay. Tio's over there like, really? That was meant to happen? Not my mustache. I'm sorry, my boy. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna move on to someone else as I discuss this next bit. There we go. And another one of the deaths that was planned was Kristen's, which obviously Kristen did end up dying in the end. But the original way that Kristen was meant to die was way more tragic than, well, I mean, it's still death, isn't it? But I feel like this one would have been really, really difficult to watch, because this one was meant to be that Kristen died while she was talking to Maia, and she tried to go over to Maia, but Maia pushed Kristen, resulting in Kristen falling back and hitting her head and dying. Now, I'm glad I didn't do that one, okay? Because that one was really harsh. It was difficult. That would have been a really harsh one, and I'm glad I didn't go for it, because geez Louise, that was that would have been tragic. Sorry, I'm saying it with a smile, but like I don't know what to say. Okay, that would have been really bad. So I'm glad I didn't go for that one, because that was bad. I'm glad with the one I went with instead. But yeah, that was even meant to be the original plan, and that was scrapped only a couple of episodes ago as well, which is bad when you say it like that. But yeah, that was meant to happen. It would have been hard. And yeah, I think the thing is that if I was to do this series as like a Netflix show, which you guys keep saying, which is hilarious, I would love that. Like if it was like a show, like a TV show, or like a movie, or like a book or something, I probably would have gone a little bit more evil with the story, and like gone with some of these ideas that like of death and like, you know, the way that that they died and stuff because it's more horror based. But obviously for the sake of it being on YouTube and not everyone loves horror like I do, I felt like it was best to, like, you know, calm it down a little bit and have it a little bit less depressing, even though the whole thing was depressing, let's be honest. But yeah, so that was meant to happen. Glad I didn't do that one. I'm sure you guys are as well, because that was very brutal of me. I'm so sorry. Also my nose, it really is itching. It really is. I feel like Voldemort right now. Avamadabam or whatever. Sorry, that was so terrible. It's gay. Okay, moving on. Oh, I guess this is the third secret. That was the second one. Sorry. Anyways, moving on to the second one. Third one, sorry. The third one is that, as I said before, Adeline and Erin were meant to end up together, and they were like the end game. That was the original plan I had set in stone for them. But after playing this, and I know this makes zero sense because they're Sims and they literally do what I want, I realized that Adeline is straight. And I know that this doesn't make sense probably to most of you because they are Sims. It's up to my control, but I just never felt the I know it just sounds dumb, but I never felt the chemistry between Erin and Adeline in a romantic way. And I know it's ridiculous because it is a Sim series and Sims are literally like, I can do whatever I want with them. I should stop phrasing things like this, shouldn't I? You know, I can control the story, but I just never felt it with them. And even though you guys shipped them a lot, and I did in the beginning as well, I realized that it just wasn't meant to be. And I decided to get rid of that idea because I just felt like they just, no, they just wouldn't make sense in my head. And again, I know it doesn't make that much sense given that they are Sims and they're my characters and I could literally do whatever I, you know, had planned, but I decided to not do that because I just didn't feel the chemistry between the two of them. Okay, and number 4, this is like not a tragic one, thankfully. It's kind of a happy one that I decided to scrap, which is that when Erin went to town, she was actually meant to meet someone that was actually very nice. And in fact, that was meant to be Erin's original final partner. After I realized that Adeline and Erin weren't meant to be together, I was like, okay, Erin can be someone in town and they can fall in love. But of course, we ended up going with Nico and Erin instead, which I'm happy about. But I wanted Erin to go to town and she was meant to go and get chickens and cows and sheep. You can get sheep now, can't you? Yeah, you can get sheep. Sorry, I still haven't played with the horse ranch pack really, but she was meant to go and like find all this stuff and take them all the way back to the ranch, and they were meant to have a lot more stuff than carrots, and it was going to be kind of a happy near to the end of the thing. But the reason I scrapped that is I wanted to add the creepy man from town, who I'll get to later on, into it instead because I don't know, more fun, isn't it? More fun doing a sad story instead of a happy one. Like, what's the fun in that? So yeah, that was one of the ideas. It wasn't a very interesting one, but kind of wish I'd have done it. It would have been very fun to have like cows and sheep around here, but yeah, we just have both the horse instead. So that was the only bit of animals we had. All right, back over to my man, and this is another bad one for him, so do apologize again to all the Tio lovers. I can't take him seriously with that mustache, I really can't, but it's so bad, honey, it's so bad. So this is number 5, and originally Tio was actually meant to be a really evil character. I didn't want him to be good, and I kind of wanted him to be like this really like innocent looking guy who actually ended up like killing people. So he was meant to kill more people than just his dad, and he was meant to be a lot more evil. But after I did that episode where he killed his dad, even though he wasn't a zombie, you guys still love Tio, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that then because I don't want to cause you guys more trouble, although I've kind of killed off loads of Sims, so let's be honest, I've really caused you guys some emotional damage anyways. But I decided against the bad Tio storyline because he was actually meant to kill more than just one person, and he was also meant to have potentially caused Nico's death. I don't know how this would have happened. I never planned out Nico's or Miles's death, but I had, again, in the beginning, they were meant to die, and so I had planned that Tio was kind of going to be the reason for Nico's death. I don't know in what way, in what sense, but it was meant to happen like that, and that would have been really tragic. That would have been really tragic, so I'm glad I didn't go with that. I feel like some of these I wish I'd have gone for, but this one, no. I'm glad I did not go for that storyline because Tio's a cute patootie, okay? Look at him. I was gonna say he's never hurt a fly, but he literally killed his dad, so... Anyways, okay, and finally, this is it number 7, number 6? I don't even know. I feel like, again, there is more, but this is just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. And this is the one that I hate myself, and I mean hate myself for not doing. And honestly, if this storyline comes up in another series of mine, you guys will know why, and it's because I so regret not doing it for this series. But the original thing for Hazel, the reason I'm not on Hazel is because she's dead, was meant to be that she actually was not Charlie's wife, and instead she'd come to this ranch, she'd found his actual wife and killed her, and then waited in the attic for others to arrive so that she could befriend them and lie to them and tell them that the guy that's a zombie, aka Charlie, who was already a zombie when she arrived at the ranch, was actually her husband, so she could get sympathy points. And then in the middle of the night, she would take all of their things and she would leave. And I hate myself for not doing that storyline. It's very much inspired by a horror movie by M. Night Shyamalan. I'm not going to say the exact one because it spoils the whole plot, but the twist was very much inspired by that film. And I am so angry that I did not do it because I would have loved that storyline, and I feel like it would have been such a good plot twist and like the biggest plot twist in this whole series. And I'm so angry at myself for not doing it. You know, when you look back and you just think, oh god damn it. So I'm so mad at myself for not doing that one, and I really regret it. And if I could do this series again, that's like the one thing I would change, because I think that would have been a great storyline. And I just wasn't that fond of Hazel. She was great and all, but you know, she was kind of a bland character, so that's why I killed her off. Sorry, that sounds mean, but it's true. And so I really wish I'd have done that. I think that would have been a great story, and maybe they found it out by like looking at the picture and realizing that it wasn't Hazel in there, or maybe they found like a hand sticking out of the floor outside and it was the wife. Like there was so many different things I could have done, and I hate myself for not doing it. So again, if that comes up in a future series of mine, you guys know why. It's because I really want to do it. So yeah, just remember that, okay? Or don't remember it, because I don't want to. I wanted to tell you guys this, but I also didn't want to spoil it if it happens in another series, but hopefully you guys would have forgotten by now, so it's fine. But yeah, that is all of the what ifs. There was definitely probably some others. I can't remember any, to be honest. I don't have them written down. I deleted it if I got rid of the idea. So this is just the ideas that I could remember. This ranch as well. This ranch was not meant to be their home. It was meant to be a cottage. So this was totally improvised. It was not improvised, but it was just changed. I think it's because the horse ranch pack came out and I was like, oh, this is a good time in, isn't it? So I just decided to do this. But yeah, that is all of the like little what ifs. And I don't know if you guys will be happy that I didn't do some of them or sad that I didn't do some of them. I'm 50-50 on a lot of them. Like I kind of wish I'd have done quite a lot of them, but here we are. Also, Miles, you look quite terrifying right now. Are you okay, buddy? No. Okay, and finally, I am gonna do some Q&A from what you guys asked on the community tab. So thank you guys for the questions. I'm just gonna go over like the most popular questions and also like things that I've had, because a lot of people ask me stuff over the course of the series, obviously not only just here. So this is kind of just a general Q&A, but this is the ones that I feel like you guys need the answer to. So first of all is about the evil guy from the town who Erin met. They say, what happened to the guy Erin met at the village? It was him who stole the vegetables. Did you plan a second encounter with that guy? A battle could have been nice. So the guy from the village, a lot of you guys thought he was actually quite nice, but the reason for that is that I wanted to make him a lot worse, but I felt disgusting playing a creepy man, so I decided against that because I'm the one that's having to like speak about, you know, I'm do the dialogue, so I decided to calm it down a little bit. But he was meant to be this like gross, horrible man, so I just want to let you know that he was not a nice guy, and he was the one that stole the vegetables. I think in my head it was more obvious than it actually was, but basically, yeah, he came in the middle of the night, he stole the vegetables to get for himself. And if you notice, when he's in the town, when Erin meets him, he actually says that like, oh, like I had other people there, but like, oh, they died. But you think, huh, that's really sus. So he'd actually gone to that camp, that like little place on top of that shop, and he'd gone there, pushed the other people that were living there. There was probably about 3 people that were like survivors there, off into the zombies below, and then lived up there himself, took it for himself. So that wasn't his camp or anything like that. He's just an evil guy who keeps stealing things. Also, what is going on? It's getting dark. It's not getting dark already. It's only 2 o'clock, people. What are you doing? So that is a question I got asked a lot about that guy and who he was and what. So yeah, that did happen. And I had planned a second encounter with him. I was planning on making him actually come to the ranch, and he was actually going to kind of force them to give him all of the stuff. So like he was meant to go into the actual ranch itself and like steal all the stuff, like, you know, hold a knife up to them or whatever and like steal all the stuff. But I decided against that because there was so much sad stuff going on, and I just didn't want to add that into it. And also I didn't know how to do it in Sims. You know, there's only so much stuff you can do with Sims 4, so there's a lot of limitations I got with this series that I wish I could have done, but purely because of the fact that the way that it works in Sims would have been really difficult. I just decided not to do it because it would have been a really challenging thing to do that. I don't even know how that would have been possible, so yeah, I decided against that. But yeah, that guy was meant to be really not nice, and he was meant to be a lot worse and do a lot worse. And also, if you notice that, who was it? Was it Maia? Maia says, I think she says when she gets to the ranch, she goes, that guy, and that guy that she's referencing, that's the guy, that is him, that's the evil guy. And so they'd obviously also met him and somehow got out of it alive, but he was meant to be this horrible guy. Honestly, he would have been a more interesting character if I'd have fleshed him out more, but I just have so much focus on that I decided to focus on other stuff rather than him. But yeah, that was a fun one. Also, I was kind of hoping that everyone was going to do stuff, but no one's doing anything, so I'm just going to focus on you guys instead. Can you like do, have I got autonomy off or something? Like, what's going on right now, guys? Seriously. Oh, it's off. That's embarrassing. That is genuinely embarrassing. That is really embarrassing. Babes, can you just go to sleep? And also, hurry up. Not hurry up, sorry. That was mean. I meant, get some food. There we go. I wondered why no one was doing anything. Will you start moving now? Really? Guys, I just put autonomy on for you. You can do as you please. What are you doing? Guys, the world's your oyster. There you go. There you go, people. Right. Anywho. Okay, the next... Oh, for Christ's sakes. Making friends. I really want to be friends with someone, but they don't seem to want to be friends with me. How can I make them my friend? I feel like that's Miles. So just keep me friendly. Love that. Nico. Oh, he even asked Nico. That's so cute. Okay, so someone else asked, I love this series and can't wait to see what you come up with in the future. Thank you so much. Love you the most. They say, my question is, what was Kristen's original story? Did she have a different story, or were you always planning to reveal her toxic relationship? Did you ever entertain the thought of redeeming her character, possibly making amends with Maia? With Kristen, I kind of just got so disinterested with her character that, well, basically, okay, from when I first introduced Hazel and Charlie, I knew that I wanted the grandchild to be Kristen's fiance, so I already knew that. And then I was like, it'd be a lot more interesting if they'd actually broken up and it was Kristen's fault. So I planned that like a while back, like back in probably episode 10 or whatever, when they first came to the ranch, but I hadn't, you know, made Maia or anything like that, so none of that was planned out. But I had planned on her being toxic because I felt like not every character should be perfect. I mean, let's be honest, none of these people are perfect. Like, if you think about like the things that all of them have done, like none of them have been the best people in the world, you know. But I wanted Kristen to be toxic, and I think I said this in the episode where I did just kill Kristen. Hello, Tio's bum. But the reason I didn't make Kristen have a redemption arc was because I felt like for people who had been in toxic relationships, that making them have a redemption arc would be really not great to see in as representation. Like, that's not what you want to see. Like, so I just decided against it, and I just thought that the best way to do it was just to kill her off, which sounds mean, but here we are. So yeah, that's Kristen. Again, I didn't have much more plans. Like, that was kind of it. There wasn't really much more with Kristen. I knew that I wanted to do that with her, but after that plan, I was like, you're done. So that's why she died. So yeah. And next question is, oh my god, okay, this question I get asked all the time because so many people say about it being a Netflix series, which I do love that idea. It'd be brilliant, but I don't think that's gonna happen, guys. I hate to say it. This is the thing. I was saying this. If I got, because I love like cinematography. Like my two dreams are YouTube and being a director, like a filmmaker. And so if I was to get like really somehow rich and famous, I would 100% make this as a TV show. Like, that would be my first thing. I would want to make this as a TV show. Like, I would love that so much. But someone said, question, if you were cast in a live action show, who would you cast for The Sims? I get asked this so much and I have no idea, because I was trying to think of this, right? And I was trying to go in my head, who could be who? And I can't see any of the people looking like actors, which is weird because I watch so much stuff, but I really couldn't figure it out. The only one that I thought of, and I know this sounds actually ridiculous because it's not, they don't look at all alike. Bella Ramsey would kind of make a really great Tio in my opinion. Like, the vibes of Bella Ramsey, and I feel like they could play Tio's character perfectly. Nothing to do with like how they look or anything, but just personality wise, I feel like they would do a really great Tio. But that's the only one I could think of. Other than that, I was trying to think of like, I don't know. It's honestly, if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments because I'm interested. I was gonna like try and go on Google and like look at like celebrities and stuff. I just can't think of anyone. Like, there's so many celebrities and so many actors, but to actually think of them looking like these Sims is really difficult. So I have no idea, really. I really have no idea. I honestly couldn't tell you. Also, why is it just Nico? Where's everyone else? Oh, okay. Well, what happened to everyone? Oh, Adeline! Honey bun! Is your baby outside? That's bad. Okay. You know what, guys? I'm not saving this once. So if anything happens bad, like if anything bad happens, it's fine. Because like I'm not going to save it. So yeah, don't even worry about that. But yeah, if you guys have any opinions of who you'd cast in a live action version, it could be as wild as possible, okay? We're not talking about budget here. We're just talking about anyone in general. Let me know because that's interesting to me and I would be intrigued to know because I have no ideas. I really don't. I wish I did. Next question. Are you going to start another series or will you just keep creating Kaz videos? I want to create another series really bad, but okay. With this series, right, this was our first ever series I've done like this. So I had like zero pressure on me. Like I thought no one was going to really watch it. I thought I'd finish it after like 10 episodes because I'd get bored of it really quickly. But it turns out people like it a lot. And so I was like, oh crap, I'm going to have to make another series or another season of this. And it's going to have to be pretty good because this one, obviously people liked a lot. So I feel like a lot of pressure. I'm not going to do another series just yet. Like it won't be anytime soon because I want to give myself a lot of inspiration first. Like I want to fully basically write out the second season of this because, oh my God, how pretty. Okay, I'm going to look at that because with this series, I've like been winging it basically. But I kind of want to do it a little bit differently next time where I kind of, you know, think it out a bit more. I definitely won't be anytime soon. It won't be like within the next like weeks or anything like that. But hopefully I will, I mean, obviously I'll start one at some point in the future. I am debating between a season 2 or a whole new one. If it's a brand new one, I want to do something relevant to someone getting washed up ashore on a beach and it being like a survival thing because that's another one of my favorite genres. And so I love that. And I also would love to do a slasher murder mystery as well, because I love, obviously, like, you know, Scream and stuff. Obviously, I literally got a ghost face there. Like, I love like that kind of movie. So I'm debating on what to do, but that's a couple of my ideas that I have. And another thing is, if I do a season 2, I have already got the plan, kind of an idea at least, of what season 2 would be. And it would be quite different from this season, to say the least. It would be Halo as a teenager, for one. That would be my original thing. Also, Santa Claus is here. Santa Claus, that's a... Okay. I'm just gonna, okay. So anyways, the point is, if I was doing a second one, first of all, like I say, Halo would be the main character. She would be a teenager, and that is why a lot of you guys did ask to see Halo aged up, but because if I do a season 2, she'll be the main character. I'm not going to do that because I want to leave it up to that point. But also, it would be different. It's not just going to be in this ranch. It'd be very different. In fact, a lot of progression will have happened and a lot of stuff will happen. So if I do a season 2, which I hope to do again, like I said, then yeah, it will be quite different from this series. So yeah, that was a long question. Okay, next one. How did you choose the ranch as their final survival location? I'm asking because in every single zombie series video I've watched so far, the survival bases were so different. Can you tell I'm really bad at reading out loud? The reason I chose a ranch was because of Horse Ranch coming out. Genuinely, there was nothing more to it other than this pack came out at the exact time, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Also, is the baby awake? Yes. Uh-oh. And the baby's terrified because the zombies nearby. I'm just gonna keep cheating your emotions up, babes. You can just have a fun time there. Don't even worry about being outside. It's all good. I chose it because we're in Horse Ranch and the pack came out, and I was like, slay, let's do something ranch related. And I don't know, I don't play with like ranches or like this kind of thing very often. I just thought it'd be kind of fun. It makes a lot of sense, and I didn't want to do like the survival camp thing, because if you think, it's only been like maybe like a year or something since the, okay, maybe like 2 years since the apocalypse started in terms of like real life stuff. So I didn't feel like a whole survival base would make any sense. And also, a survival base kind of overdone. Everyone does that, you know, every single series is that. It's like Walking Dead and you know, it's always the same with like the survival bases. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I just decided to go with the ranch instead, because it looks kind of cute and spidery. And in my head, right, I like the idea that this is a horrible place to be in for an apocalypse, because it is a horrible place to be in for an apocalypse. I mean, obviously it's great that it's an isolated, you know, there's not many people around here. But the worst part about it is that, first of all, these fences are so low that I'm surprised they haven't been turned like multiple times. But also, these walls, okay, that is not a thick wall. So that's like a horrible thing. And I liked the idea of it being this like nightmarish situation. You know, they're not in like a brick house or anything like that. Like a wolf can just come and huff and puff and blow the house down. You know what I mean? Sorry. It's a Three Little Pigs reference. I don't know why I'm referencing like a nursery thing at this point, but here we are. So yeah, that's why I chose the ranch, because it's different. I don't know, I'm quirky like that, you know. And did you have any names that you almost end up picking for Halo before finding a name? And will we get to see a teen or young adult version of her before season 2 happens? The answer for that one is no. But with the names, I did have ideas. I was debating something relevant to Erin, then I was debating just going for Hayden, but I felt like it'd be really complicated. But basically, I just wanted something that went hey. So I knew that I wanted to go hey, like Hayden. So that's why I went with Halo, because I just Googled like names that start with hey, and Halo came up, and I was like, wait, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it wasn't really that much of an interesting process. That was literally it. So yeah, next one. Would you ever consider doing a spin-off with a new set of Sims and a different storyline / progression? If you mean a zombie series, then no. There's only so much zombie stuff you could do. I know The Walking Dead has like 50 million seasons, but I'm not one for that. I'm not ready for like 7 million seasons of this. So I don't want to do a spin-off. Originally, I had actually planned on, once finishing the series, I was going to do spin-offs where each episode was a different character. So there was going to be a Bo episode where it showed his backstory, then a Tio episode where it showed his backstory, and then a Nico one where it showed their backstory, and basically kind of like the lead up to the apocalypse. But then after I did some backstories spread here and, you know, throughout, I thought, well, it's going to be kind of boring to do like a whole episode based on each person. So I decided against that, even though I felt like you guys probably would have enjoyed it, but it just, I don't know. I'm not that fussed about most of the Sims anymore. Like Bo was so long ago at this point that, like, you know, I'm not going to be that enthused about making a whole episode based around him. So I decided to not do that. But yeah, that was originally a plan. And in terms of like spin-off with the new set of Sims, like I say, I'm not going to plan on doing that because I just don't want more zombie stuff. The next season of this will be zombie themed, but not. And if you know what that means, I don't know, you probably won't know what that kind of, it is going to be zombie themed, but it's going to be a little bit different if I do a second season. So just know that there won't be a spin-off in a zombie apocalypse setting, because it just seems it'll be the same. Like I don't want to just do, oh, zombie attack, oh no, someone dies, you know. I want to do something else. I don't want to be like someone who just does like 50 million seasons of the same thing, you know? So yeah. The next one is, what's your favorite episode that you made? So the most fun I had making this series was easily, and I mean easily, the episode where Adeline gives birth, which is episode 19. I love that episode so much. Everything about it, Hazel's death, and it was glorious. Okay, that sounds bad saying Hazel's death was glorious, but the whole thing was just glorious. I loved filming that so much. I filmed for like 2 hours. It was like the best 2 hours ever. I had such a fun time filming it, and every minute of it I loved, because a lot of the times, a lot of the episodes are kind of not that great to film. Like, oh Christ's sakes, is that a ghost Charlie over there? Of course it is. But a lot of them aren't that fun to film depending on what they are. So I didn't really like filming stuff that were like action. Like if it was just action, because all it was like, okay, imagine Charlie's a zombie right now, right? I'd be like, oh my God, guys, no, Charlie's woken up. And then I'd have to like control him, then move him over here, then get Adeline to be in the right position for whatever's going to happen next. And then I'd have to set the camera up, and then it'd be like, oh, and then this happens, and then I'd have to stop again. So it was a lot like stop starting, whereas like dialogue themed ones were a lot more fun to do because I got to just chat and like, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of the action ones, even though I know I'm doing a zombie apocalypse series. I've kind of got to expect action, but yeah, just thought later. And another question is season 2 still going to be set in a zombie apocalypse, or is it going to be the aftermath? Both is the only way I could describe it. Both. I'm not saying anymore, but both. And lastly, are you going to do any other series after season 2? I'm not that far ahead, guys. If I do a season 2, I don't know if there'll be a season 3. I'm already debating doing a season 2, so I'm not sure about season 3, but maybe. I don't know. That's a long way away. Okay. Next question is, what would your favorite character have been if you weren't the one to make the series? And I love this question. Okay, this is like the best question ever, and I don't know. Okay, because I think, and I definitely think that it would probably be Miles. Probably Miles. As much as what's happened to the baby, oh for God's sakes, people, stop it. This poor kid, I just keep cheating up her needs. I don't care about the rest of you. You can die if you please. I'm sorry, that's really mean, but it's true. I think that it definitely would be Miles because I really love his character anyways, but I can imagine that Adeline would kind of annoyed me if I was just watching the series. I say that with love, I do, because I love Adeline. She's my favorite. But if I was just, you know, an outsider watching it, if I was one of you guys just watching it, that, oh my God, Erin just nearly tried on the baby, that's concerning. But I definitely think Miles would have been my favorite. He's a great guy, so yeah. Okay, next one. Okay, so when Maia and that guy got in that community, how did the community not send a group of people to go to the ranch and take them in? Wasn't their goal to find more survivors? I get what you mean by that, but hear me out, okay? Baby. A baby. Maia and Xavier said on the radio that it was like months, right? It was months for them to walk to that place. It wasn't like down the road or anything. Like it took months and it was really dangerous. And so I don't think that they'd want to send people to come all the way to here to then go all the way over there. And also as well, just because they're in a survival camp doesn't mean they're safe. Like, you know, you don't know who's there. You don't know what kind of scary people are there. That creepy guy from town could be there. Like there's a lot of different things that I feel like could go wrong. And especially with the baby, Adeline would not want to leave. Even if the others wanted to leave, I don't think they'd separate at this point. You know, they've been together for like 2 years nearly. Like, you know, they're not going to separate off at this point. So I don't think that it would be very reasonable for them to go there. Maybe in the future, wink, wink, hint, hint. But I don't know. I don't think it made sense for them to go there personally. So that's why they didn't. Okay, next question. What character's personality is most different than how you originally planned it? Again, I think it's Tio. Tio was meant to be evil. Other than that, I think Adeline, actually. Adeline was meant to be a hell of a lot more annoying. And I say that with love. Okay, I mean, she is annoying, but she was meant to be a lot more like, I don't know how to put it, but she wasn't meant to be as nice as she was. She was kind of meant to be more selfish. And I know a lot of you guys think that she's selfish, but she's not that selfish, okay, in comparison to how she originally was meant to be. And also Adeline wasn't meant to be that strong. She was meant to be kind of relying on everyone else after the baby was born. But, you know, after her progression in the series, I decided that it made sense for her to really connect with Halo. And so, yeah, that happened. So, yeah, Tio and Adeline would be the most different ones. And obviously Hazel as well, considering she was meant to be, like, evil. Another person says, why did you decide to scrap Miles and Adeline? It seemed kind of out of nowhere. Now, this is one that I'm not going to answer fully because if I do a season 2, it'll be kind of answered in that one. But I just don't see them working well, okay? Adeline just this second, like, she does not need a man, okay? She realized that she just did not have a crush on Miles in a romantic way. It was just that she just had this need for another man in her life after Hayden's death. And she was just like, oh, Miles, you're cute and you've got nice hair. Let's date, you know? But she was like, nah, you know what? I've realized that Halo is way cuter and way better and like she just needs Halo. That's it. She doesn't need a man. So that's why. And I felt like it's more important to show that than for a relationship to be had or whatever between the two of them. And also, I don't see them together personally. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I don't see them personally together. So yeah. Oh, cuties. See guys, she can do this herself. Oh, Tio's not happy about this. Oh my God. Are you Jeffrey Landgrab? What is going on? Oh my god. Tio, honey, please can we shave it? Please. I can't. How do you do it? Do you need a mirror? Oh my god. Oh no, do you have to? Oh, bums. Is it? Oh, shave. He's too uncomfortable. Stop being uncomfortable. I've got to do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it, guys. I can't keep him like this. Well, you know what? Nah, you know what's funny? I'm keeping it. I can't go over that. But yeah, so that's why I decided to scrap the two of them be together, because I prefer this storyline personally, even though I know you guys really liked them together. So I do apologize for that. Next question is, I'm gonna put it on Tio, you know. Did you have any other characters in mind to add and didn't follow through? As I said, I cut in the like what ifs bit. I was planning on making Arian have a different partner rather than Nico, but I felt like they actually fit together really well after playing with it for a while. So that's why they decided to get together. Oh, for God's sakes, guys. What are you doing, Tio? What are you doing? Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, the mustache is creepy, but sure. So yeah, other than Erin's potential partner that she was meant to meet in town, and also obviously the guy from town who I did end up adding, but he was meant to be a bigger part of the storyline. I don't think I was really planning on adding anyone else from what I remember. It was kind of meant to be just like these guys. So yeah, I didn't really have anyone else. I added everyone who I wanted to add in, and I'm glad that I didn't add any more in, to be honest, because it was getting a little bit overwhelming. And I think that is every question that, well, I didn't answer every single question in that community tab. I just answered the ones that I kind of feel like I needed to answer. So sorry if I didn't answer your question, but hopefully it was kind of answered in this video. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of it. I don't know what else to really say. This was actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be rambling about my Sims for even longer, but hopefully that answers every question that you guys had. Oh dear Lord, that is concerning. Oh my God, rainbow. Oh my God, slay. Okay. Oh my God, the lashes as well. Sorry. But hopefully that answers like every question you guys had about this series. And this will indeed be the final time I'm playing season 1 of this series. And that's really sad. But yeah, this will be the last time. But hopefully this answered questions and hopefully this makes sense. I don't know if it does, but you know, I tried to get through everything you guys asked. So yeah, so hopefully that's okay. And yeah, I'm gonna miss the series so much. I hope I do a season 2 if I'm enthused enough to do it, but I don't want to just force myself to do it, you know, so we'll have to see. But I have enjoyed playing this series so much. I've already said a final goodbye to these Sims in the finale, so I'm not gonna do one of those again. But yeah, hopefully this wasn't like boring or anything like that. Oh my God, that's so cute. But hopefully this wasn't boring. Hopefully this just answers some of your questions and this is adorable. I'm gonna leave you guys on Tio's lovely face because I can't get over it. Where's he gone? He's hiding from me. He doesn't want anyone to see. I'm not surprised. Oh, no, genuinely, where's he gone? No, genuinely. Tio, don't be dead or something. That'd be really embarrassing. Oh, there you go. Oh my God, yes, legendary behavior. Oh, he's gone over the fear of fire. That's so cute. I'm gonna go. So thank you guys so much for watching this series, and this is officially, I guess, a goodbye for these Sims for the second time. And yeah, okay, I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna go. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'll answer them in the comments if I missed any, but I think I got through pretty much all of them. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I'll see you guys in another video. I love you guys. Oh, that was so bad. That was dreadful.